Hello and welcome to another Source Gaming discussion about Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And this is a pretty special one. Joining me today is Tris.
Hello.
And also fellow journalist and placeholder UK media champion for Smash Bros. Ultimate, NintenDaan.
Hello, yes, I am the UK champion of all of Smash Brothers after I stole NintenJex title.
It's just a placeholder until December 7th though, don't worry guys.
Sure.
Holding on to it for me.
Yes.
So we've brought Dan on because he got the chance to play a near final version of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate at a recent media event. So he got to try out a bunch of the new characters, he got to try out a bit of Classic Mode, World of Light, and Spirit Mode. So we wanted to talk to Dan and essentially get his impressions of the game. Like, he's tried the demo, now he's tried the final version, or near final version. So why don't we just start off with the thing that I think most people are excited about, the characters.
Right.
And obviously in the demo before there was Inklings and Ridley, and then a bunch of the returning characters like Snake, Pokemon Trainer.
Yeah.
Was Wolf in the demo? I don't think he was. Ice Climbers War though. Ice Climbers War for sure.
Ice Climbers War for sure, yeah.
So which of the new characters did you get to try? Did you try all of them? Did you pick and choose?
So, the context, I also went to an event a few days before that, which was just a public event where they showcased the event build.
Okay.
So over the course of these two demo opportunities, I've played every new character in Echo.
Oh, nice. Well, that gives you a perfect way to talk about it all then.
Yeah, basically. So what do you want to know first? You can choose anyone.
Well, who is your favourite to play as then? Who do you think is the most fun?
That's a good way to introduce it, I guess. My favorite of all the newcomers, separated from the E3 build, because I don't need to talk about Ridley and Inkling again.
I think a lot of people have heard about them too much already.
Sure. I think of the newer builds that I've played over the last couple of days, I would say that the character that impressed me the most was Incineroar. And I wasn't expecting that for all my money. It would have been King K. Rool or Isabelle. But the moment I started playing with him, it just clicked in my head. He is completely focused on pulling wrestling moves, and it's so incredibly amazing. The thing that I love the most is the move where you throw a character into the ropes and then have to do another timed button press to do another attack.
His side special, the lariat.
It's side special, yes. After a match or two, I got that timing completely down, and I adore it. I adore it so dang much. Because you throw it in there, he comes back, one time button press, he goes in the air, and then you do a couple more smash attacks and have a good combo going. That feels so amazing to do. Another one that I really like is his up B. So you go up and then go sideways down to do like this kick. That kick is, I would say, a bit more tricky to pull off. But once you nail it down, and I got it nailed down and got a K out of it, when you get that sequence going, it feels so incredibly satisfying. I would say that in general, Incineroar is a very tricky character. You need some time to adjust to that. But once you get into that groove, he is absolutely one of the best ones out there. He's so good.
Okay, I think having a wrestler character is a good one. How much is he on the grapple game? Because that's something I know a lot of people were interested in, being a wrestler. Everyone just kind of assumed he'd all be about grabbing and pulling off stuff like full Nelsons and all of that.
Yeah, his grabs are really cool because he just basically does this backdrop moonsault, which is amazing. So I overall his animations and the attacks he does feel very athletic, and I think that's what I appreciate the most about him. That being said, though, I'm not gonna say here and say that I've played any character that's particularly bad, because I think that Isabel and King K. Rool, which I mentioned earlier, are some of my other favorites that I played, especially King K. Rool's shield, his belly shield. In one of the matches I played in the event build, I got Shulk coming towards me, and he was putting the Monado in front of him. I timed that button press, and it just bounced off and went back. Which was so incredibly funny. I just love adoring his shield. I would say that his shield is actually trickier to pull off than some of Incineroar's moves. I think also that the shield is the trickiest part of King K. Rool's character.
Okay.
Like, the rest is more straightforward, like blasting the cannon, going up in the air, which is a long air time. Like, longest of any of the new characters that I played.
Oh boy.
But particularly the belly shield is the thing you need to adjust to the most.
Okay.
I heard it can break, can't it? If you like mistime it, maybe, or do it too much.
You basically just get hit, yeah.
Okay.
And you just get blown back. Which, hey, that's what every good Smash should have. With Isabel, Isabel's interesting, and I think her trickiest move is, well, her fishing rod attack, where she pulls the fishing rod and brings a character towards her, and then you can do a couple Smash moves and then have once again a combo going. I felt that was the thing that intrigued me the most, through and through. I just kept spamming the fishing rod attack, and it brought it up closer to the Smash attacks. That was my go-to thing to do with her.
Does it not auto-chain into a grab? Because that's what the footage made it look like. Like it was a
yes,
sort of
it absolutely
grab.
does. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it does. But afterwards, you are free to do whatever you want, and I basically just went ham with Smash attacks at that point.
Excellent.
Outside of that, it's also, she has a really funny animation, especially with the party popper. Just pops in the enemy's face. That's really adorable. She's actually, I like her way more than Villager.
Okay.
Like,
Nice.
100% more.
Yeah, I think that's the impression I've gotten from people, that she's a bit faster than Villager, isn't she? I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she definitely is. Yeah.
And like you basically auto win because the enemy isn't allowed to hit you. Because you're Isabel. So it's also just really easy to win.
Yeah. I remember the joke. That's a good reference.
So yeah, you considering you've mentioned those three, can I take it that Simon was your least favourite of the four newcomers outside of Ridley and Inkling, obviously?
Simon was indeed my least favorite newcomer, and not because I don't like Castlevania. Castlevania is really one of the franchises that I grew up with, but maybe it's because I didn't play enough with him and Richter.
Okay.
And need more time to adjust to him. But he is incredibly difficult because there's so many technical things going on, especially with the throwing of the holy water, the throwing of the axe, using the whip consistently well. There's so many little things that you need to keep in mind, and I think that's holding me back the most because I'm not the most competitive player of Smash in the world. I really enjoy Smash from top to bottom, but I'm not the most technical player.
Right.
And I think that's what's holding me back with Simon and Richter.
Okay. So they're more technical orientated characters than the other three.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel so anyway.
Alright, okay. So you also got to try out all the Echo Fighters then.
Yes.
What are your thoughts about them compared to their original counterpart from what you remember? Because obviously I'm assuming, have you played as Peach in this
I
and
played
Rory?
2 matches as her in the E3 build. I played every
I don't
character
think
at least
Peach
twice.
Peach isn't in the E3 build, which is why I was asking. Like Peach and Rory.
I think I did play Daisy during that Sunday event during the event build.
Okay.
That's when I played with her.
Okay.
Yeah. I had to remind myself that I played so many builds at this point that I have to remind myself which of the 3 builds that I exactly play which character in.
Oh yeah, weren't you the one circulating around because you had the Daisy versus Palutena match?
Yes, yes, that happened. And to put the record straight to everybody, yes, I killed myself at the end of the match because I was laughing too much.
Daisy the Unstoppable.
Yeah, but that outrunning of of the black hole, that was amazing. Absolutely fantastic. I was actually playing it with at that point I was actually playing it with a Nintendo employee, and it was towards the end of the stream, and we were like, nobody's really coming in. Let's play a bunch of matches here anyway. It's like, okay, let's do that. And I went ham as Daisy, and Daisy is just really fun to control. Her animations are fantastic, especially with her sideways butt stomp. It's amazing. I love it so much. With smash attacks, you can use the golf club. It's so good.
How do you think she compares to Peach from like Smash 4 and stuff? Because I think a lot of people are wondering how Daisy is different from Peach, because we can see it with some of the echoes, but she was the one that didn't really look much different at all.
She doesn't feel that much different. She is, I would say, just from a cosmetic standpoint, her animations are just really pretty much funnier.
Okay.
But from a technical perspective, I would say she's only just a tiny bit faster, but not by much.
Okay.
And it's barely noticeable either.
Okay.
But that's the only difference that I really felt.
Okay. Alright. What about the other Echo fighters compared to their original? In particular, I think a lot of people are curious about Dark Samus and Samus.
The big difference between Dark Samus and regular Samus is that Dark Samus floats.
Okay. Does that actually like affect anything in any way, or is that more aesthetic?
It impacts the way she moves across the field.
Okay.
And I mean this purely from how quickly she goes from point A to point B. Samus is, as far as speed goes, more of a somewhere in the mid tier. Not too fast, not too slow. I definitely noticed the speed bump of Dark Samus because of the float.
Okay.
And I had to adjust to that a little bit because I'm not the best with fast characters. I do play as them. I do play a lot of the Fire Emblem characters because I'm a big Fire Emblem fan. But that's not that doesn't mean I'm the best at all of them. The same goes with Chrom. Chrom is pretty much a Roy. And while I love Roy's attack patterns, it is interesting to see it on Chrom.
Okay.
And particularly because it doesn't seem like the moves he would actually use in his game. But that being said, seeing him do the up B and the down B is really entertaining. But I feel that where I feel the difference is there. I feel he pivots a bit more.
Okay.
Because I didn't feel that Roy didn't have the best pivot of all the Fire Emblem characters. And I feel that I correct that a little bit with Chrom as his Echo trait. Okay.
I've heard that Chrom isn't particularly great in the air. Like, he's a bit like Little Mac in that sense.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
For he can basically do the same attack as Roy, just grab the end of it. And make it look really cool. Hey, and that's why you play Roy for.
What other Echo fighters are Ken? Oh yeah, how's Ken? Because actually I'm really interested in Ken because I think he looks a lot funner to play than Ryu.
It's just in general he's a lot more fun to play as, I feel. Like, Ryu is a slower character. At least on the slower end of things. He feels a lot more deliberate than most characters in Smash. Ken comes a whole lot closer to feeling like a regular Smash character.
Interesting.
Okay. Well, that's
because he goes faster and he has the same traits as Ryu, but particularly his basic attacks go a lot. At least his energy-based attack goes a lot faster than Ryu's.
Okay.
And he just pretty much feels like a buffed Ryu.
Okay.
And that's the best way I can put it. It's fun in a lot of areas. I feel that Ken is, as far as the echoes are concerned, you can see the differences immediately between him and Ken. Meaning him and Ryu. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Ken definitely looked like that. He looked like... Crom honestly feels like he was a very last-minute Echo from everything I've seen. Like, of his animations, the fact that he's still in Robin's final smash. Stuff like that. He feels a bit like last-minute compared to Ken, who has, like, I think more love put into him than any other Echo in the game.
Yeah. It doesn't mean that there are not interesting traits with each of the Echoes. Like, most of them are a bit faster or move a bit differently.
Okay. That is good to hear.
But yeah, you can see it with Ken the most.
Okay. That's good to hear, because my fear was a bit when he was first describing Echoes, not that like his initial description currently matches what we have, but
yeah,
like I was worried they were all going to be a bit more like Dark Pit, where they're practically indistinguishable from their original. But it sounds like
at least Dark Pit has a different final smash now.
Yeah,
so
well, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah,
he's got a unique final smash technically, because both Zelda and Sheik lost theirs.
Yeah, I played one match with Dark Pit because Dark Pit used to be my main in Smash 4. Goes to show how competitive I am. But yeah, his final smash was like using the scope and shooting one shot in front of him. I got to like blast two characters at the same time during that match, and both of them went flying off the screen, which felt incredible.
Nice, you sniped them both.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, are there any other characters that you got to try out that you want to talk about? Any that you feel are worth distinguishing from the cast?
Ooh, not in particular. Like, I mostly went back to the greatest hits of the E3 build at that point. After I did all of the things that I needed to see.
You didn't
try
Young Link or Pichu or.
I don't care for Pichu. And I say this as a guy who loves Pokemon. I don't care about Pichu. Yeah.
Heartless.
No, I would be of a nobody. Haha, Kingdom Hearts joke. I mostly went back after that to more the greatest hits of the E3 build, so a bit of Ridley, a bit of Inkling, and then also a bunch of Zelda. Like, I still really enjoy Zelda. Over the course of all the 3 builds I played, I just adore playing as Zelda.
Nice.
Zelda has been consistently the most interesting character that I've played.
Oh, good. That's good.
That's so nice compared to Zelda in every other Smash game.
Well, Zelda feels very different from any other Zelda.
Right.
And I don't know if anybody else agrees to this. Maybe I'm completely alone on this. But I felt I was done with her Twilight Princess design.
Oh, no, I think a lot of people were. I wouldn't have minded it as like an extra an unlockable costume. I know it's a colour, but I was like bored of the really stoic sort of moody Zelda. I much prefer the lighter, happy-go-lucky Link to the Past Zelda.
Yeah, no, this is great.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's what fits the most. Like, it's incredible how much they fit that Zelda to be a completely new character, because you could say that, make the argument here that Link is the new character of the Zelda franchise, and they obviously brought the old design of Ganondorf back. But I feel that more than Link, Zelda has changed the most, especially with how now the Phantom is operated and how you do the magic attacks. She feels so extremely different from what she was before.
Good. That's good to hear.
And once again, I played her in every build that I played so far, and consistently she has been impressing me the most.
Okay.
Alright, that's good. I'm looking forward to that, to trying her out more, because I kind of really want to use Zelda properly, and I've never really liked how she played in the other games, so I'm hoping this one's better. Same for this Dark Samus as well, which is why I was happy you said she was a bit faster, because I really like the way Dark Samus looks and how she looks like she plays, but I really don't like Samus. regular Samus. So.
Yeah, I can understand that for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So I hope I get to like properly get a handle of her when the full game comes out. But
Yeah.
Tris, have you got any questions about any characters you're interested in, or should we move on to the modes?
My only question actually would have been about Young Link, but you said you didn't get a chance to play him when you mentioned him and Pichu. So, otherwise, otherwise I'm happy to also see you're interested in Zelda, because she's been one of my mains since Melee, and just constant positive vibes towards Zelda is always a good thing.
Well, yeah, I've said it since the moment I touched the E3 build. That was the first tweet I ever made about Smash Ultimate back at the E3. Zelda is just good. Zelda is really, really good. The other character that I was constantly impressed with, and I still am, is Inkling.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many technical things going on with Inkling, yet he or she is totally approachable.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, I liked Inkling. Inkling was my favourite between her and Ridley when I played the demo.
Ridley is interesting. Like, coming back to Ridley now and playing Ridley again, it's an incredibly technical character once again, especially with the down B and just throwing an enemy on the ground and pushing the enemy forward. And there's so many little things you have to think about there. But with Ridley, it is, I don't know. Ridley is fun, but I'm not sure if he will hold up once I start digging all the other characters.
Yeah.
Do you think you prefer him over Simon or under Simon?
Well, he's not that technical that you can't understand him. I purely feel that with Ridley in particularly, while the moves are fun, they aren't as flashy as I would have liked.
Okay.
Like they feel very predictable after a while, and I'm not meaning that in a bad thing. It's good to have that sort of character and knowing where you stand in a Smash match. But I like the unpredictability factor of a character. Like not knowing what would happen in that specific moment. I feel that I can predict what a Ridley player was going to do after a little while.
Okay. That kind of sounds like how I feel with Wii Fit Trainer and Greninja in Smash 4. I kind of get that feeling.
I can understand it, yeah. It's the feeling is a bit similar than that, for sure.
Yeah. Well, alright. That's a lot of characters and talking about all the newcomers, but it wasn't just Smash mode you got to try out. You also got to try out Classic mode, World of Light, and Spirit Battle. So
yeah, well, technically it's called Spirit Board.
Spirit Board, okay. And
Yes.
let's start with Classic mode, because I think that's the one that we only really saw a glimpse of it back in the August Direct. And I know all we know is really that the Classic mode was all themed around individual characters. They all had a unique sort of setting. And we discovered from all the footage and stuff coming out that actually they don't end on Master Hand anymore. Everyone ends on sort of their own boss, like their own special big boss fight. So who did you get to play as in the Classic mode?
Well, two characters, Captain Falcon and Dokkan Duo.
Okay.
Right. So, which one do you want to know first about?
Why don't we go with Captain Falcon? Like, what's your impression of Classic mode, I guess, as a whole, and use both as
Sure.
like, examples of.
Well, yeah, it's Classic mode. I will put it that way. It's a bunch of the battles stringed together by an end boss. There's obviously also a new mini game where you go through the stage collecting like these golden orbs and get to the end, and basically they score you more points for your end score. And that's basically the extent of Classic mode. The big difference is that they're tailored to each specific character.
Yeah.
So with Dokkan Duo, they were all animal characters, and you might say, hold on a second there. In every footage we've seen, there is a Mii fighter stage. That's accurate. Yeah, they're all in bear costumes. Moving on.
Cute.
But that ends on Rathalos from Monster Hunter.
He is an animal.
He's a monster and a dragon.
Yeah.
I guess that's an animal. Sure.
Yes, it's an animal, yeah. Who does Duck Hunt actually fight then? He's got Mii fighters. I'm gonna assume Isabelle, and I'm gonna assume Yoshi. And
I know he
Pokemon.
fights DK and Diddy.
DK and Diddy makes sense.
Yeah, you definitely find DK and Diddy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you fight Do you fight Pokemon?
Do you fight a Pokemon? That's a good question.
I'm just trying to think of all the animals in the game because I feel like there's more animals than stages in classic mode.
Let me think. So you fight as. I think you definitely start somewhere with Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong.
Okay.
You fight against Sonic.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
You fight against the entire Star Fox team in one battle.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So Fox, Falcon, Wolf.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's on the Pikmin stage, the Garden of Hope.
Okay, that's random.
You fight against King K. Rool.
Oh,
A giant King K. Rool to be exact.
Oh, okay.
Once again, you fight against the Mii's in the bear costumes, with the blaster being the honeypot. You fight against 3 other Duck Hunt duos in the NintenDaan stage.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Is there any other characters that I forgot to think about? I think those were all it.
So, do you fight the Mii's in every classic mode? Did you fight the Mii's in Captain Falcons as well?
I believe so, yeah. I don't remember it 100%, but I believe that you do.
Okay. So I'm just trying to think, like, why you'd fight the Mii's in Duck Hunts when there's so many other animals, unless you fight the Mii's in every single one, and they're all themed around that. Because I understand Captain Falcons is, like, close and personal fighters, right?
I believe that in Captain Falcon's Run, they're all brawlers.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. To go with the up and personal theme.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
For the rest, Falcon's classic mode is filled with Ganondorf, with Donkey Kong once again, Ryu, Roy, and the Mii Brawlers, and then I think it ends before that Orb stage with Little Mac.
Okay,
That's
makes
fair.
sense.
And the final boss would be then Giga Bowser.
Yeah, that's Giga Bowser coming back was a nice surprise because, like, I think a lot of people just assumed he wouldn't be, thanks to the change of the final Smash.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it's neat to see Giga Bowser back because I understand he's back for Mario, and that makes sense. And I guess it also makes sense for Captain Falcon because he's more up close than Gallium and Rathalos, especially.
For sure. Yeah.
I have a question regarding classic mode that I have no idea if you know the answer to actually, but from what I've been hearing, the highest difficulty people were able to play at was about 5.0 instead of, like, I guess it would cap at like 9.0 or something. So
considering the row, I think it ends at 10.0.
Okay. So it's entirely. I know we're saying right now, like, oh yeah, like, we don't fight Master Hand, you just get this, you get these other end bosses. But I do wonder if they would add in more at, like, the max difficulty,
like a Master Core sort of thing.
Exactly.
You would think they would, because why wouldn't you?
Right.
I feel that if you put that effort in going that high, you would add some little extra at the end to it.
Yeah.
And also because, like, at every battle, that slider increases.
Right.
And depending on how you do, if you do really well, like if you overpower the enemy within seconds, I think it rages by 0.6, and regularly would be 0.3.
Okay. Alright, that's cool.
And if you lose and think about continuing, it will lower by a 1.0, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of like what it did in Smash 4 if you continued. But I like that it increases and gets more difficult as you go along. It's like amping up the challenge to your own sort of ability.
Basically, yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Alright. So, how do you think this classic mode compares to the ones from previous games? I mean, it already looks significantly better than the Wii U one.
Oh yeah.
But
I feel that the 3DS one was at least fine. I think that's still better than this because it's fully classic. Like, it feels like a proper arcade mode.
Okay. And you don't think this one does?
Yeah, this feels like a proper arcade mode where you go from character to character and have a specific goal in mind. Like, once again, you have the animals or up and
Oh,
close,
okay.
and try to deal with different types of opponents.
Okay, sorry, I thought you meant the 3DS one felt like a proper arcade mode. Okay.
Well, the 3DS one felt at least closer to a proper classic mode. It wasn't the proper classic mode I was looking for.
Okay.
With this one, obviously, it feels like it's pretty much is old school classic mode.
Nice.
Except for there's no break the targets and the baseball contest.
No, the home run contest.
Everyone's favorite.
Yeah, but now they're being swapped by that Orpa minigame, which is fine. Like it feels like a proper race to the finish, where you have to a little bit do of light platforming and collecting and fighting. Which combines well enough, I would say. But the majority is once again focused on the fighting.
Okay. So, how long does classic mode take? Because this is something that a lot of people are concerned about when there's 70 plus characters to plow through classic mode with.
I can imagine. I can absolutely imagine. I remember fondly how I went for all the characters in All-Star mode on the Wii U game. Sincerely though, I think it takes about 10 minutes.
Okay. That's not bad at all.
I think that's like the upper sort of limit.
And who knows, maybe there are extras on the higher difficulties, but for a standard run that goes between the 3 and 6 slider, it's about 10 minutes.
Okay, alright. Did, something I just thought, once you beat classic mode, is there like a congratulations screen, credit roll?
We weren't allowed to see that.
Okay then. I thought that might be the case, because I hadn't seen anyone talk about it. But it was just a thought, well, I guess that's something for everyone to see when the game comes out.
Pretty much.
Nice. So, alright, was there anything else from classic mode specifically that you wanted to highlight?
I mean, it feels more focused on the fighting. And that's where the Wii U version went wrong. It had too much gimmicks, especially with how the characters then come into the screen and how you moved around the board. It didn't feel right. This feels like, once again, like a proper arcade mode, like it should be.
Okay,
nice.
That's good.
How it was in Melee and Brawl. And a little bit of 3DS, but not that much.
Okay, that's
here
good
it feels like it should be.
Awesome. That's good to hear, because I know a lot of people were disappointed, especially with the Wii U's chaotic 8-player classic mode.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah.
So, alright, let's go on to the spirits and stuff. So you got to try both the Spirit Board and World of Light. And
yes.
I guess we'll start with Spirit Board because it's the lighter of the two. A lot of people think this looks like it's the next version of event matches, essentially, like random one-off matches that you get to try out. So how do you feel? Do you think that's a proper impression of the Spirit Board?
The problem is you cannot necessarily talk about World of Light without not discussing Spirit Board. They kind of go hand in hand how they approach things.
Let's just cover all of it then.
Yeah. So, Spirit Board and World of Light go hand in hand, and there is no denying that. The reason why I say that is, I don't know if people agree with this ever. Maybe I'm only alone in that. I don't think so. I want to think I'm not them, but I people have their opinions. I see that with Subspace Emissary, they try to do something very ambitious. They try to make a light platforming game mixed with smashing, which sounds fantastic on paper. Don't get me wrong, but it's not. It didn't gel too well with me, and I didn't really enjoy it all too much.
Okay.
The cutscenes were awesome. The rest felt sort of dull. With Spirit Board, World of Light, they make Smash interesting by throwing spirits at you which add traits to a character. And they try to tie in the character and the spirit as much as they possibly can. And the spirits range from 1 to 4 stars in difficulty. So, depending on what you do, you might get a really challenging battle or something that the majority can play. In World of Light, they build up gradually by starting you off with 1-star missions and then building it up. With Spirit Board, they kind of let you loose
Okay.
And give you 10 challenges at the same time, which swap in and out. But also, you only get one chance at this challenge, and if you fail, it goes off the spirit board.
Ooh.
Oh, right.
And it won't return for a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's the difference between World of Light and Spirit Board, and that's the thing that you need to keep in mind. Spirit Board is built around quick matches that you can play whenever you want. World of Light is built as a segmented experience, where everybody has the same experience and knows what you are getting. It's separated by smaller worlds that each have a bunch of stages to play through, and tightly knit characters and spirits. So it tries to tell a story in a certain way, where the first couple of stages are against Mario, which has different spirits attached to it, and then you gradually unlock him, and then you go to a section of the map where you choose a direction. I chose Marth, and you fight a bunch of spirits, and then unlock Marth, and then go on and go to the next character.
I actually have a quick question about that. When you pick Marth, does the game let you go back to choose any of the other two, or are you now locked in this way?
No, you can choose any character you've unlocked so far. So you start as Kirby, and unlock Mario, then Marth, or whatever character
I meant
want.
that, so where you see Marth, and I believe Sheik is the one up to the north, there's the 3 different directions.
Yes.
My thought was that if you go get Marth, does it then block you off from going back to go, say, get Sheik or the other?
Yes, it does.
It does,
yes.
Okay. So that's a really, crucial decision you have to make at the beginning, which are the 3 ways you want to go.
Well, it sort of depends on which character you're good at, because it also... It sort of assumes that you have a specific character that you want to go for from the beginning.
Do you know what the third one is? Because I know Sheik is one and Marth is one.
Yeah, so it forces you in a certain direction.
Okay.
Oh yeah, but what's the third character? Do you know? Or did you only look at Marth?
I would have to look at... I think it was...
I've heard it's Villager.
Yeah, it was Villager. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm just trying to think. Out of them 3, what to go for? Probably Marth.
But yeah, I went for Marth, and that's what matters at the end. Yeah, so like I said with World of Light, it's a experience that everybody experiences the same. Well, there are decisions to be made, but you move across a grid map and go from challenge to challenge.
Okay.
And what they try to do is they force your hand a little bit more with the spirit battles that you actually play. So everybody plays the same. For example, one battle that everybody will play at the beginning is that you fight against the Mario that has a spirit attached to it that gives them the power of metal shift. So every time, or a little bit in a couple of seconds, Mario turns metal, and that's one of the first missions that you play.
The Smoggy Pog one, or whatever it's called, that they showed off in the thing.
Smoggy Pog is attached to Mario at that point.
Okay.
Another one is that you fight against a Yoshi that has an Eevee attached to it, and then it will spawn an Eevee ever so often.
Can you take out the Eevee like you can with assist trophies?
I don't think you can take out Pokemon, no.
Okay, so you just have to avoid Eevee and take Yoshi out.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
And I think that's the most impressive thing about these battles. Every battle feels unique despite being Smash.
That's good. I think that's a very good way of keeping the gameplay sort of as it is what people like, but also making it different enough that it doesn't get stale.
Yeah, for example, one of the third battle that you play against Jigglypuff, which has Celeste of Animal Crossing attached to it.
Okay.
And with her attached, Jigglypuff only prefers neutral specials.
Okay. So literally just pound.
Yeah.
That's great.
This really becomes crazy later on. One of the latter missions that I played, and it was actually one of the more difficult ones. It was super, super tricky. You fight against a Wario team. 4 Warios. Not 3, 4 Warios. And all of them have a charging chuck attached to it.
Oh, no.
So what do you think the special rule is of this battle?
They just do that side smash, do they? The whole time.
Yeah, just do the dash attack. Yes.
God.
Wow.
Wow.
And it actually becomes incredibly insane. There's so many little things you have to keep track of, and I think I lost my first time through that mission because it's so darn tricky.
Well, that's a good segue into what. So obviously all the spirits matches across both World of Light and Spirit Board. What do you think some of your favourite were? And are there any that are more than just simply beat the opponent? Like, are there any where it changes up? Like, say you have to do it in a time limit, or things are stock, or
there are a few stamina battles in there.
Okay.
It was a timed stamina battle.
Okay.
Where it was against Ryu, who had the Rain of Xenoblade attached to it.
Oh, okay.
The enemy had super armor, was moved slower.
Mm-hmm.
And Ryu also loved to taunt at every moment he gets.
Great. It's fantastic.
There was another one with Ivysaur, where only certain Pokemon would emerge from Pokeballs. It would only be grass Pokemon.
Oh boy.
Oh, that's cute. Do you know what was the spirit attached to Ivysaur?
Chestpin.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's fair.
That's cute, yeah.
It was a really smart idea.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the thing is with the spirit board and World of Light. The spirit board is really interesting because any of the difficulty can show up at any given moment.
Mm-hmm.
You're not prepared for what is going to come, and you need to build up a team with your main character and the spirits attached to it, and also keep defense, neutral, and attack in mind. One of the 3 rock paper scissors mechanics.
Yeah.
And especially that's true when you have to face a legend spirit, so a 4-star spirit.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to experience one of them in the form of a Shine Sprite.
Oh, okay. That's a 4-star spirit.
Yeah, and the character attached to it was Rosalina and Luma.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
And the conditions were you have to defeat Rosalina and Luma, but also the character can have suddenly a final smash. And Rosalina and Luma can suddenly become invincible.
Wow.
Oh, great. That sounds balanced.
Oh, man.
Wow. Okay, so that's like that's a proper legendary battle then.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, the legendary battles are really, really tough.
So do you think it is important then to have spirits that are the opposite type of, the ones you're going against, the ones that are stronger in a weapon triangle?
Yes,
sort of
and they will absolutely prompt you from saying, hold on, you are not prepared for this. Are you sure you don't want to change this?
Okay.
At least they tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering whether some lazier people try to
and then you can optimize with Y, and then it will instantly give you the right spirits to use.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Alright, that's a way for lazy people in the path through.
Oh, I have to mention this one. This one is also really great off the spirit board.
Mm-hmm.
So you fight a team of Mii sword fighters, 3 of them,
Mm-hmm.
and the spirit attached to it is the lead beat engines.
Oh, that's great.
And they all have the suit on, the suit outfit,
Oh, that's
the
great.
brawler suit outfit. And the condition is that the enemy will have increased attack power after a little while. So you know how in the game, the lead beat agents become stronger as the stage progresses in the rhythm game.
Yeah, more people.
They basically implemented that as a character trait to the sword fighters.
Oh,
It was
that's
stupid.
brilliant. I love it.
That's pretty great.
That's what I want to see from
and-
Spirit Battles. The really the way that they managed to implement the game, the main mechanics into each battle. Like, I know on the website there's the Eternal Darkness one where you go against Samus Zero Suit.
Yeah.
With the main character of Eternal Darkness, and the stages flipped and controls were reversed to simulate going crazy.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. So when I saw that, I was looking forward to how they'd represent all the other sort of games like Elite Beat Agents, and it sounds like they're doing it really well.
Also, you fight on the Saffron City stage of N64.
That makes sense.
So
just to add to that.
There's no Christmas base level you could go for instead? No.
Yeah.
So I've got a question regarding the Spirit Board and World of Light and such. Then,
Yeah.
how long? So I'm presuming in the demo event, because you mentioned like there was the path and you picked Marth and you did a few others. I'm presuming you didn't get a chance to really go and rescue a lot of the fighters, but from what I've been hearing by a lot of people, it scales super huge. What would you say about that specifically?
Yeah, we only got to experience like a couple of characters joining our fight. I'm not sure if you unlock characters that way, because all of the characters were unlocked in our build.
Okay.
Maybe it's just one way, because I think there's probably multiple ways to unlock all the characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would hope so, but they haven't specified, and that makes me sort of worried. But I would hope that you unlock the characters proper that way. I would hope so, at least.
Yeah, I feel like you probably will. I feel like you can either unlock them through versus matches, amiibo, or spirit mode. Like I can't just because with the removal of a bunch of modes, I'm not quite sure what else you could do to unlock characters.
Yeah, true.
So makes sense. All right.
So can I talk about another stupid one?
Yeah, go on.
Because I'm having too much fun with this. So you fight as Wolf, who has Sonic the Werehog attached to him.
Oh my gosh.
And the conditions are, get this, the stage is covered in fog. The enemy's physical attacks have increased power.
Oh no.
And he has increased attack power overall.
Oh wow. So what star level is Sonic the Werehog?
I believe he was. Let me think. He was a 2.
2.
Oh wow.
Okay. I'm really liking how many unique characters they're pulling from and how many obscure characters they're pulling from, and it's not just main characters. You get shit like Sonic the Werehog. I know Chaos Zero is also a Sonic spirit. I really want to see what other really obscure picks is going to be. Like we know Tatanga's there. I wonder if there'll be any really random Mario Land enemies, like the Sphinx or the Maui head, or the guy.
That would
like
be fun.
Jack, not Jack. If the guy looks like Jason, they've just got the hockey mask. I don't know what it'd do. I don't know how they would affect things, but I'd be interested to see it. Well, that sounds good. Spirits mode sounds a lot of fun. Like I know a lot of people are a bit worried it might get stale, but it really doesn't sound like it will. It really sounds like it's going to be enjoyable to go through and try and get all these spirits and experience the unique matches they're all assigned to.
Yeah, basically. I feel that they're doing a lot of good, interesting stuff with it to make it unique, but also just make it fun overall. And bringing your best spirits, like upgrading them, sometimes evolving them, like you can do, for example, with Tsubasa of Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
Yeah.
And I went all the way with her. I upgraded her Carnage version to level 99.
Oh wow.
Which gives you a lot of defense power.
Interesting.
And then 2 additional slots to put more spirits into.
Okay. So is it really easy to level characters up to level 99? Because it kind of felt like it was, considering how many spirits there are, and you have to level them to 99 to evolve some.
You grow the level by in World of Light by playing just battles. And I had an Octoling, I think, attached to it.
Okay.
To me. In Spirits board, you can just make your own team and fill the different slots with the way you like it.
Yeah.
And the main one has one of the 3 staples. So Tsubasa, for example, a defense character. And the higher the level, how high that defense power really is.
Okay. Alright. Does she not go any further after Carnage mode? There's no like mode of her riding.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. No.
Okay. Alright. So some characters, because I think some characters have a 3-star level evolution. Some, I guess, only have 2. It'll be interesting to see which ones those are. But alright. So this discussion has nearly hitting. It's just hit the 50-minute mark, I think. So. Is there anything else that you really wanted to talk about, Dan?
I don't really think so. I think that what they're doing is pretty clear.
Okay.
I think that they're building on what makes Smash great, and you could make the argument, I want more side modes to it, but what is it you really want? Do you want a better Smash game? Or do you want a better just experience overall? Because what I feel And I'm not sure if anybody agrees with this. And if not, that's totally fine. I just want overall a better Smash game. And what they're doing with the Spirits board and with World of Light is creating scenarios that keep Smash fresh.
Okay.
Because they attach Spirit, think of a character that tightly fits to it, and create a scenario. That's how they come to that conclusion. And I think that's a really good understanding of what makes Smash unique, what makes the spirits they attach to it unique, and what makes them fit all together.
Yeah.
It does. And then you have the classic mode, which are very close and personal, and attached to what the character traits really are. And then, of course, you have the changes to characters overall, but also like the new characters and what they're doing with the entire roster. Overall, I just feel that they're building a better Smash game.
Nice.
That's good. That's great. That's great to hear. And the Spirits mode and everything sounds like really good. Like Smash has always been a celebration of gaming history and the various different franchises that Nintendo have made. And Spirits really feels like it's encapsulating far more than what previous Smash games have been able to do before.
I think it's a really fun replacement of trophies, because it implements like these very obscure characters in a very new way.
Yeah,
they're gonna need to take some time to replace trophies in my heart. However, the Goku spirit has been found, and that has already elevated up a few levels for me.
Yeah, I feel that with World of Light you have a very beefy experience, at least what I've seen of the world map. And with Spirit Board you can just play quick a mission on the go and put the Switch down again.
Nice.
And I think that's also building what the Switch makes strong, like something for very quick on the go, and something that you can sink your teeth into for a very long time.
Right.
That's good. That's really good to hear. Well, alright. Thank you very much for coming on, Dan, and sharing your experiences with us and making us very jealous. So
I wasn't trying to make you too jealous, to be honest.
Well, it's always going to happen. We've still got a good 3 weeks, is it? Just under?
20 days.
20 days. So, yeah, just under 3 weeks. Can't wait. I'm looking really forward to it. So, right. Thank you for joining us again, Dan. Let the good people know where they can find you.
You can find me on Twitter at NintenDaan, that's NantenDaan, where I talk about games. Not so much now, I was too much busy playing Pokemon, to be honest with you. But you can find links to the usual stuff that I do there, also all the places like NWR and what have you. You can find quick links to all of that there. And yeah, that's about your lot.
Okay. Alright, well then, everyone who listened to this and made it all the way to the 50-odd minute mark, thank you for listening. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't, all the usual YouTube stuff. Want to give a special shout out to our super patron, the Duke of Dorks. Link to his channel is in the description below. Hope you enjoyed, and always remember to return to the source.